In swirling news, Fox News host Harrison Faulkner. Let's talk about something that happened on The View when she went on there. Sunny annoying ass asks Miss Faulkner question regarding race and her responsibility to black people, her fiduciary responsibility to black America. Let's talk about that. So, I start off with saying this. I say this often that the conversations that have been going on YouTube a lot, they are starting more like these are conversations that have been some debates have been settled. They people have conceded to points, people just disagree and kept moved on other topics, whatever. And as you see now that some of these topics that we've been debating on YouTube for the last 10 years are starting to pour over, and you see them on Facebook in the form of memes, right? You saw Dr. Helen Smith stuff that she was talking about 5 years ago just went viral, and Ti tweeted it out of tweeted it. That man gotta chill out. Need to focus on his family. Stop trying to be a fake Malcolm X. Your family comes first, bruh. But he tweeted it, and everybody talked about it in a lot of debates, and a lot of women were bringing it up, and they were appalled to find out that's how men feel about marriage nowadays or whatever. But I'm just saying, like, that's something that we've already discussed to the end. All the MRAs and the MGTOWs already went back and forth, and that was a discussion like 5 years ago, but it just went viral recently in the form of a meme, right? So, but on The View, Harrison was asked by Sunny annoying ass. Sunny is just so fucking annoying. About do you feel like you have a responsibility to Black America? And Miss Faulkner's response was, I have mixed children. I have a responsibility to everybody. Which for me is like, okay, I understand. Like that's already my perception of people who are in IR relationships, right? So, but if I'm a couple people. I think some dude who just reads the news on Dr. Boyce Watkins' channel was reading it, and you look at the comments, it's just coon, bad witch, coon, bad witch, coon, bad witch, coon. Just, all that in the comment section. I'm just thinking, like, to myself, though, and I'm sure these people have seen these conversations as well, and they saw Dr. Umar Johnson and all this other stuff, right? The whole thing about Dr. Umar Johnson on the Breakfast Club and then on Roland Martin was he was saying that he didn't respect black men with non-black wives, right? And I didn't understand why people would ever get any feelings about that, because who the fuck is asking for his respect, right? But his point was that in my school, I don't want black men who got non-black wives teaching. In his school, that does not exist still, ironically. Whatever, right? He says that like he has his reasons for that, but his argument on why it makes sense as far as when you're married, your attentions are divided. It's a political choice. It's all these things that in America, that is what marriage is. So if we can see to that point, why is it that when a person leads with that and they say, yo, my attentions, my time, my resources are going to be divided because of who I choose to be with? Why is it that we feel some type of way when we get in front of it? And the reality simply is that these conversations just ain't caught up yet outside of the YouTube space. People are still one drop ruling, and they want people who are in our situations to be pro-black, because you did have women like I think Francesca Lay or whatever. She's like this woke chick that does videos on Facebook, YouTube, whatever. But I think she's with a white dude. And then you have like a lot of the black feminists who were militant in the 70s and whatnot. They ended up marrying white liberal dudes, whatever. So I guess maybe they just look at that and say that you should still be on some woke shit. But I think context matters. People need to read people more and assume or just understand why some folks are on with the wrong. Not only is Harris Faulkner married to a white dude, but she's also a military brat. So like her whole cultural view is just different in the context of why Sunny asked her about does she feel any responsibility to the black community over the Kaepernick situation. Of course, Harris Faulkner is, first of all, she works at Fox News. She's married to a white dude, and she's a military brat. Like why would you not expect her to be on what she was on? And she also made the point yo, I'm the only black woman on TV with a full weekly show of her own. CNN and MSNBC and all the other networks don't have that. MSNBC has Joy Reid on the weekends, which she only got her job because she's taking for Melissa Harris, two last names Perry, who got emotional because her a business decision basically happening, right? They weren't giving her coverage that she wanted during the election. The company hired different people, right? They got rid of all the blonde people they hired, right? They hired a bunch of y'all black folks or half black folks to talk when Obama was president and to keep all the other black people at bay and not to come attack the president. That's what y'all were hired for. And Obama was gone. They didn't need your black asses no more or have black asses. And that happened all throughout MSNBC. Like, it was so obvious that happened. But she got in her feelings. Same thing happened with Tamara Hall on CBS. They replaced her with Megyn Kelly, which I don't think that show fits Megyn at all. Like, it's just, I don't think she fit at Fox either, but she had that best rating. She took Sean Hannity's slot. But back to the conversation. But she has her own show. Like, so there's this other element of it, of the financial obligation, right? Like, she's economically dependent upon Robert Murdoch, right? Like, that's who her bread and butter is. So I just don't get how we don't get, like, if we say certain things and then we see them in action, we just don't know how to respond. Like, why would you expect a different answer from her? Military brat, works at Fox News, married to a white dude. Like, those things all add up. Like, you're not about to get some woke Nefertiti sister out of that. Like, why are you shocked? It's like the same thing. The Advice show just did a video a couple weeks ago, I think, about blacks and Mexicans and whatnot. And he said, I might respond to the video. He said some stuff that was real and some stuff that I just didn't agree with, whatever. But off the bat, I just assume, like, this man's wife is Mexican. If anything, he's going to be more neutral than I would be about some. And he lives in Texas. Like, it's just, I just look at certain environments that people are in and I just assume certain things, or I have expectations of certain things. You can prove me wrong, but I'm not going to get my feelings when I just look at the environment like them. And we, for some reason, we have a problem with doing that. I was talking about dating and mating in proximity, which I'll probably do a video about later. And I was just making a simple point that, of course, like, all the dudes that I went to high school with that are in the military, that went to the military, they don't have black wives, right? Like, they traveled the world. They went all over places. They didn't come back with black women. Most of the dudes who I went to high school with that moved to the West Coast, Arizona, Cali, they're not with black women. Like, it's just, there's this, people date and mate within proximity. And that's just, we don't even dive deeper into, is there any chemistry? Do we have the same likes and whatever? Are we into the same things? Religion, politics. It's so many things that stop people from dating who they date. But we just look at, oh, she not black, or she, why didn't you pick this and why you didn't pick that? And I'm like, we just on the surface level. We ain't even going deep, dive enough into the conversation enough. That's a different video though. But again, I just don't understand how we expected a different answer from her. Maisie, shout out to Maisie Jackson. I keep telling you to go check out WBLN, best political commentator on black, Chicago, black radio, whatever. And Mays and his co-host Charles was having a little, debate, because Mays was like, "There's no black and brown coalition." Now Charles is an older black man, but he's optimistic of a black and brown coalition. Why? His wife is Puerto Rican, so it's like, it's just common sense. Van Jones, a lot of people get on him. He called in on the show actually, and Charles and Mays was trying to explain to him why, we not team, illegal immigrants in sanctuary cities, because we see how it affects black Chicagoans differently than it might be. Well, fuck that. In California, it's affecting black people too, but we can comprehend, like, the West Coast has this fake kumbaya and multicultural thing going on, and Van Jones has a white wife and makes kids, and he might be on that, right? That's just my thing, though. It's like, but before I get into that, they were trying to explain to him, like, yo, you might have that environment in California with Mexicans because you're out there doing work and whatnot, but in Chicago we have a different vibe here, and it's not this kumbaya. Like, we're competing for opportunities and resources and whatever, and like, black people are losing political power in Chicago, which is the epicenter of black politics. That's where it all started with Harold Washington and whatnot. Go read him. Go look him up and check that out. People think it started with Obama. It started with Harold Washington. Like, Chicago has meaning. People always wonder why we always bring them up, but Chicago was the first black mecca where, it had the most black millionaires and whatnot. Today, they have the most black representation in politics, which don't really mean shit. Like, it's not translating down to black Americans in Chicago. That's a different conversation as well. But they were trying to make that point, and Ben Jones got a little pissy, wet, mad when they were trying to say, like, yo, there is no coalition here in Chicago. We competing with each other, right? and Van got a little butthurt about that. But again, Van is in an IR situation. He's in California. There's a different environment. Why don't we just assume? Like I remember when I was watching the Advice Show's video earlier on, even back when he used to talk about more male rights stuff. That's how his channel originally started, and he used to just be going in on black IR relationships, what I didn't understand because I knew his wife wasn't black, or at the time he was just dating her. But he was like, date whoever you want, just don't date white. And I'm just thinking like, okay, this dude is from the South and Texas and whatnot, and I just can comprehend why his philosophy was what it was when it came to IR relationships with white women. Because where he's from, his environment, like, is different than someone in New York and California. Not saying that we don't have racist ass white liberals in Cali or in New York, but I'm just saying the environment is different, and people don't want to take any of that into account when critiquing certain situations. I just assume people are going to be on what they're on. I don't get in my feelings, or I don't care anyways, but I'm just saying, like, that's something I think black people need to learn, about that situation. Instead of just projecting their own bullshit, just take time to, all right, I got it, check off that list. And it's just weird. I think the more we see of people owning it and just being upfront and saying, like, yeah, Dr. Umar Johnson is correct. My attention, my focus is divided, right? Again, like, we killed Byron Allen, and we didn't want to give him credit for having to be in the first this black millionaire and having a black network company. The man bought the Weather Channel. Like, I have a video on it. It's pretty popular. After he bought the Weather Channel, the video got way more traction. And there's people going back and forth. There are people who are like, split. Like, he can't call his company black. His kids are not black. They're mixed. They're going to get his wealth. There's other people saying, fuck all that. The man is in a position to do some great things. He's in a position to put more black people on TV. And the ironic thing is what he was, the lawsuit he's suing the government for, whether it's about getting advertisement dollars to black media, Ebony, Essence, The Root, stuff like that, black radio, like, black women are going to benefit from that more than black men because they occupy those spaces way more than black men do. So it's just weird. But they gave him shit for that, and they didn't want to, move over that. But I'm like, okay, so you understand it in that context, but then when someone owns it, you feel some type of way. Like, pick a struggle. That's like saying, like, even with the Kanye thing, right? Like the casting call thing, when they were like butthurt saying that he didn't pick light skin, he only picked wanted mixed women or whatever, even though Tina Taylor, whatever, is his artist, and he's put several black women on before in his trash fashion shows. Clothes are garbage, but he's given them representation and whatnot before. But to me, it's like, well, his wife is not black, his children are mixed. What would be wrong if he did want to promote what he created and what he married? Like, again, like, eventually some folks is just gonna start owning this shit, and we're gonna have to get over it. Because if you're telling people, like, the advice for a black dude who has I'd skip the whole can you date black and this thing that went on last year that everybody was doing visa about. Like, I just watched so many videos, and like, I had this long video I was gonna do, and I had some receipts, but I just avoided it, right? But and that was after the Umar Johnson situation too, and Roland Martin. But at the end of the day, my recommendation for a black man in particular, if you've hopped the fence and you have mixed children, you're probably just better off going to link up with men who are in that same situation and build from that. Like, you, in this day and age, it ain't like back in the day when so many black men who were in the civil rights and whatnot, even the ones who married black women, they were in hotel rooms blowing out black Becky's prostitute. We know that Dr. King wanted to marry white women, but his handlers told him, don't do that. Barack Obama, his whole dating, past was all women who were mixed or white. And people feel some type of way about the dude who wrote the book, talking about, like, yeah, he married Michelle for political reasons, whatever. But at the end of the day, he knew he could not become president or fulfill his political aspirations by marrying a white woman. Like, he was smart enough not to do that. Just like whoever was handling Dr. King when he was younger, he knew he could not do that, right? But I think you got to get used to it. You're going to have more people who are in these situations just admit up front, yeah, my attentions are divided. I can't, be that. And then the black men who want to do that still because of course, you know, we saw what happened with Donald Glover and whatnot, and they still want to use their art or their platforms to promote things or showcase things that are going on in this country. And there's just these knee-jerk reactions saying you shouldn't do it, you know, because your wife ain't black. And I'm like, yeah, okay, then then don't get mad when they flip the script and become multicultural and kumbaya and forget about black folks. Like, pick a struggle. That's all I'm trying to say. That's my video. I'm done.